Hi. I'm gonna try giving some long form content a little try, a little gander. I will not put my arm on that since it decided to shake. In this video, I want to explain the entirety of D.O.S E, why we're here, what we have done, and what we're trying to accomplish and what the future looks like. I feel like I have talked to a lot of people within the last year or two about D.O.S E, and people have asked, like, was this end game, right? Was this the end goal? Is there something else that you're trying to achieve, trying to strive after? And I'm happy to explain, right? But first, I want to give a disclaimer, okay? I am not an expert in this. I did not go to school in community organizing. I am just an artist, a creative, looking for my community and looking for a safe space to create. That has been who I am this whole time. And so I did not go to school for this. I have quite literally no idea what I'm doing. I'm figuring it out every single day. And, you know, I feel like that's the majority of people. Hey, fake it till you make it. Am I right? Am I right? Up top. Yeah, let's get into it. So before I get into the history of D.O.S E, let me just explain what D.O.S E is, right? So D.O.S E is an acronym, and it stands for the 4 chemicals in the brain that are produced when you do anything creative. So dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. We are a 501c3 nonprofit. We're based here in Winston-Salem, but we serve the triad, and we provide opportunities for artists to experiment, collaborate, and connect with the community in the form of events and programming and gallery space. Now, in our home-based location in Winston-Salem, all the programming is free, and if it's not free, then it is affordable. So we always do a pay-what-you-can sliding scale, or if the tickets are more than an affordable price, then it's for a fundraiser benefit for us, or it's a very special event. We have, you know, a slew of creative programming during the week. We do tabletop games every Wednesday, we do creative flow every Thursday, and we do open jam every Friday, depending on when this video is released. And those may change, those may shift. Again, just like we provide opportunities for the community to collaborate and experiment, we also do the same with our events. So if we try something and it doesn't work out, we shift, we adjust, and we work with what the community wants and what the community needs. Now, let's talk about history. Let me start at the beginning. I am not a native to Winston-Salem. I lived in Holly Springs, North Carolina, which is 30 minutes southeast of Raleigh. I went to School of the Arts, based here in Winston-Salem, and I graduated in 2019. Graduating from a theatrical school before the pandemic hit. Don't we love that? And so I got to experience using my degree very little, and then the world shut down in 2020. In 2020, I went through a whole spiral, right? I feel like we all did. We were locked up. I was playing Animal Crossing every day. I lost touch with myself and the people around me that I trusted. It was just a very hard time, right? And I had no idea who I was, what I wanted to do. I feel like anyone could graduate college and go through that whole cycle. And so I was going through that cycle during the pandemic. Hey, talk to me nice. During the pandemic, right, we had that brief lockdown, then the open back up when we shouldn't have, and I went back to work. I was working a retail job at the time, and then I was also going back and forth from Greensboro working on films with a small group of friends, right? It was very small. We were very safe. We always touched each other. We always wore masks. We did all of the precautions that we needed to do. But within that, doing something creative, right, in that outlet, it was very rewarding to me. And I was like, okay. And also it was film work, something I didn't go to school for, something that was very new to me. I was like, oh my God, I actually like this. It's kind of crazy. Fast forward to 2021, I decided, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna move back to Winston. I only chose moving back to Winston because I went to school here. Keep in mind that I went to the School of the Arts, and so I was very much in a bubble, right? And I didn't really experience the rest of Winston-Salem. I had no idea what was out there to be offered. I had no idea what could be provided for me as an artist, entrepreneur, whatever it may be. And so I got here, and there was nothing. And I was like, oh, okay. And so because there was nothing, right, I was like, okay, well, I need to develop my own things. 2020 to 2021, I kind of developed my own small business. It was called Grandma Chic Goods. And it did not last. obviously. And I only made one item, and I wholeheartedly, solely only used Instagram and Etsy to promote myself, and that was not enough, right? I had no idea what I was doing. And so I gave that up, and I was like, oh, this is not meant for me. And then 2022 rolls around, and in 2021, I started writing a script about my mental health journey from the pandemic up until then, right? I felt like it was very strong. And I knew in my heart and my soul that I wanted to make it into an immersive experience. Rewind here for a second. During my time at school, my very last year, we did an immersive theatrical experience called Still Life with Rocket. It was probably the most beautiful and most life-changing thing that I've ever done in my life. And it made me realize that that is a type of entertainment that I want to do. That's the type of entertainment that I want to produce. A company like that does not exist, right? Here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. I don't even think really here in the United States anymore, currently from this video. And I could be wrong. Someone please tell me that I'm wrong. I wrote the script and I wanted to be produced in that same format, but I realized that producing things in that format costs a lot of money. And so I was like, okay, so how are we gonna get this money? And so then I called up my friend Leo and I called up my friend Cameron, and I was like, hey, I wrote this script. I think it's super cool, super fun. Do you think that we could probably do something with this? And they were both like, yes, hell yeah, let's do it. And I was like, okay, cool, great. And so then we were like, okay, well, we need money. What do we need? How do we do that? And so it was like, we fundraise, right? And so we started a small business, and it was called the InBetween. And the whole point of it was to produce immersive theatrical experiences. We started off by making this 8-foot by 16-foot canvas. And we brought it to a few markets and bars in the beginning. We controlled the color, we controlled the theme, you know, and like general like inspiration behind each one. The community has some guidance in terms of like making this huge mural together. That Instagram account still exists, if you were wondering. So you can see all of the archival footage and photos of any of the murals that we have ever done. In the very beginning, we were charging people to paint these murals, and that felt wrong because you're charging someone to paint something they don't keep. Yeah, right. We stopped doing that, and we just provided the experience for free. And then we realized that people actually just need an outlet for creative expression. People just need to express themselves creatively in an affordable manner, and that stuck with me. It's still sticking with me, that people just need an outlet for creative expression. People just need to express themselves creatively in the most affordable way. That was 2022. And then we realized, since we were providing an experience for free, right, and the community needs this, that we then shifted and the in-between dissipated, and we formed a nonprofit, and the nonprofit being D.O.S.E Artist Collective. Established ourselves in August of 2022. From there, started the lab in November of 2022. The lab was like the painting experience that we did, but like on steroids. Like it was like we were painting the columns in the parking garage, and there was like live music, and there was dancing, and there was an open jam session, and there was food, and there was drinks. Like it was like the ultimate like underground experimental art event. We did that for 2 years. Honestly, we would not be here today without doing the lab in collaboration with the Arts Council. Like D.O.S.E would not exist or be what it is without that collaboration to have happened. And I'm like internally grateful for that. And also very sad that we're just like not doing it at all this year. And you know what? That's all right. It's okay. 2023, we received a grant, right? And it was ARPA funds. And so essentially it was like reimbursement funds to kind of like revitalize the arts community environment within the Winston-Salem, Forsyth County region. With that money, before it was being used for the lab during the beginning of 2022, and then 2023, sorry, I get a call one day in May of 2023 from my friend Tony, who works at Visual Index. And she was like, you should get down here. There's space down here. It may be perfect for you guys. And I was like, ooh, okay. And so then I come down here, and lo and behold, there's this open, this space that I'm currently sitting in was completely empty. It was gutted. There was nothing on the walls. And the guy was like, yeah, like I'm moving out today, but like, you know, if you want to hop up in here, then you can hop up in here. He didn't say it like that, but like, you know, I'm paraphrasing. If you were around for Pride of June of 2023 and you came in here, you saw that there was nothing but like 2 tables. We've been here ever since. And in September, it'll be 2 years since being physically in the space. And if you've been in here around those 2 years, you have seen the space shift into so many things. This space has shifted so much. And so hopefully, I'm hoping that this position that we got right now, that this is the last iteration, because I don't know. I don't know how many more I can do. This one eats, right? After getting this space, we established this as community art space. So like free and affordable programming for the community, being a third space, it being a creative co-working space, all of these things. And so over the last 2 years, we kind of refined like how often we do programming, how consistent it is, opportunities that we provide, all of that. This year we've been able to hyper focus on it due to lack of funding, but then also having the experience over the last year of figuring out that people, need something more on a consistent basis than just a one-time monthly event, if that makes any sense. D.O.S.E was established in August of 2022. Our third birthday would be in August of 2025, and our second year of being in this physical space would be September of 2025. That is where we are. That's the history. I hope I got all of that out in a timely manner. And so as we move into the future of D.O.S.E and what it means, the crazy thing about it is that this space was not end game, and it wasn't one of my goals. If you heard before, my goal was to do Quinn. Now we're here, right? And we have completely established a different pillar that is needed within a community. And so the goal is to still keep this alive, but I still have my overarching goal of like wanting to do this immersive experience, wanting to introduce that type of entertainment to Winston-Salem. I kind of did, right? We did a trial December of last year, and it was received very well. I do want to do it fully. There's more to the story than what was in the trial. There are way more characters, and I feel like it would just be a very interesting and relatable experience to, anyone and everyone. So still actively trying to figure it out. But yes, this space was not in game. This was not on my to-do list for those 3 years ago when we established this was not on my list, but I wouldn't have it any other way. I want to be able to provide people with the safety and security of knowing that I can become an artist here. I can be a creative here. I can meet other creatives here and establish myself as a creative. I can start at any point in time, and it doesn't matter, what level I'm at, but that I will always be accepted in this community. And I feel like it's important to have that creative expression. People need an outlet to creatively express themselves. I hope that D.O.S.E provides that for people every time they come in. I try to make things more interactive. I try to make things develop more. And it's also not just me, right? I have a whole board, 9 of us in total. There is Taylor and Kyle who are here, who are providing coffee and vegan food items. Like, there are people of the community that are always constantly helping to make this better, to make it stay. And I could, forever be grateful for them. This is just a little introductory video. I hope that I explained a lot or enough. I didn't really explain the future, but it's also one of those things where it's I'm still trying to figure it out. And I want to, in making long form content, I do want to explain the process of putting on events, community engagement and community rallying, and how does that work, and how do you tap into people, and how do you establish yourself in the community, how do we be respectful to each other in the community, all of these little things. And I just do also want to reiterate that I am not an expert. I am just an artist that's trying to find their community and also their safe space. I'm not an expert. I'm just giving you all the shit that I have done, and hopefully I'm telling you shit also that you should not do so that you don't make the same mistakes that I did. You have to make mistakes in order to grow, and I give myself grace for that. Thank you if you have watched all the way to the end of this video. My name is Taj. I am the founder and president of D.O.S.E Artist Collective. If you haven't already, follow us on social media at D.O.S.E.ws. Also the D.O.S.E Collective on Facebook. If you have watched through this video and you feel like you want to do more, you want to support in however way you can, do have some volunteer opportunities if you'd like to volunteer, since we are a nonprofit. And since we are a nonprofit and we are a 501c3, if you're interested in making a donation, please do so with the link below. And then also, we do have an incredible over 100 monthly sponsors that are keeping this space alive to this day. And so if you're interested in becoming a monthly sponsor, there's different tiers that you can sign up for, but your contribution every month keeps the space alive, keeps the programming free and affordable, and it keeps an outlet for creative expression here in Winston-Salem. Thank you, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and thank you for listening to me yap. Hopefully I will be on my shit and you will find another video of me talking about something within a month. But I love you all. Thank you for supporting D.O.S.E. Thank you for keeping us alive, and I will see you guys later. Bye.